Let's do this. Welcome to the Distracted Podcast with your favorite three distracted boys. We're all here, and we're ready to go for the first episode.
Indeed.
Woo!
we have yours truly, Distracted Boy 1, aka the cooler Finn than the one in Star Wars.
AKA Finn, but not as...
Finn, but I don't yell Ray all the time.
And I also don't have a lightsaber, and I can't do anything.
Yeah.
I'm just here.
Such a turd dog.
As you can tell,
you could be
Blake is having to join us on Discord here.
Well,
we have a very
Hello.
loud dog in the background.
Leave, you shut your mouth. Distracted Podcast
Hey,
at its finest.
Leave for having a conversation, alright?
We are having a conversation. This is why you were supposed to stay in this room, so you wouldn't bark at people.
And I am Tristan. So let's do this, Hecker.
Today, for the very first episode of the Distracted Podcast, when thinking very hard about what would be the best way to introduce people to the people you'll be listening to, what better way than to talk about our favorite games of all time? We have each compiled a list of top 10, except for Blake. I think you've less than 10. Because you were like, I don't know, man. I can't think of 10.
I've been real busy, and also, I just haven't had, don't worry about it.
don't even worry about it, man. Yeah. So, who should games are fun, right?
Games.
We've made lists of
We're
games.
very professional.
So how many do you have? Like,
I'm honestly just gonna be spitballing for the most part. I'm not gonna have them in any particular order.
but
I'm
how
gonna
many did
kinda-
you think of? So,
5.
okay, so you're half. You're good. You get halfway there.
I have an amount.
Okay. All right. So no, you stop it. Come here. Come on. You could be on the podcast. Leave. Okay. Shall we start with number 10 then?
Yes. Alright, so we work our way up.
You can go first. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The first is the most exciting. And
Yes,
then people get mad at you and they're like, "Why is that your favorite game?
How dare you?
This game is so much better than that." And it's like,
that was the best 3 ever. So I also have honorable mentions, but
we can do those when we get to number 2
Yeah.
before we do number 1. Like all those Watch Mojo things that everyone makes fun of.
So for number 10, I have Borderlands 2.
Ooh. I'm surprised I didn't expect that.
There's a lot about this game that I love, and I'm gonna be super honest with you guys. I have not completed the game. I've mainly just run around, done side quests, and had fun. But it's
wait, you've never completed Borderlands?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I honestly, I typically don't put that much dedication into a game. There are definitely games that I have finished, but Borderlands is not one of them. Borderlands 2, rather. So there's just a lot there. It's a great game all around. The graphics are, that kind of cartoonish.
They look like a comic
feel.
book. They got that comic book look.
But the best part about that is, that's not gonna,
it doesn't age.
Yeah, it doesn't age. It's not gonna be like crappy graphics later on. Also, the storyline from what I've played is super amazing.
Handsome Jack is the greatest villain.
Yes. Of course, Claptrap is the best character.
Minion!
And it has amazing DLCs. The DLCs are so fun. Tiny Tina's
Assault and Dragon's Keep.
Yeah, Assault and Dragon's Keep.
The D&D expansion.
That's fun. Yeah, I mean, it's just all around a really, really fun game. And I of course love playing the Psycho. So
Blake, do you want to wait to jump in with yours when we get to 5, or?
I mean, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess I will go with number 10 now. I wonder if you thought this would be higher on my list, Tristan, but my number 10 is Dark Souls 3.
Okay.
Because, let's face it, if you don't know what Dark Souls is, clearly you got problems. Or you just don't play games.
See, I'm not too surprised because you like a lot of arcadey.
Arcadey, whoa.
Almost arcadey.
Whoa. Whoa.
Just you.
Dark Souls is not arcadey.
No, I'm saying I'm not surprised that it's lower on the list.
Not surprised.
Oh my goodness. Dog.
Stop it, stupid.
Stupid.
There's literally nothing out there.
Maybe turn the gain down.
It's fine. But no, because I mean, it's Dark Souls 3. And having played... Shut up, stupid. Having played Dark Souls 2, and that game, the stupid you lose max health when you die is so bad, and having recently played Dark Souls on the Switch, and so much slower than Dark Souls 3 is, Dark Souls 3 is the best in the series. I think a lot of people would agree with that. And it's Dark Souls sparked a new genre of games. Every game is like a Souls-like nowadays. Jedi Fallen Order had Souls-like elements. And it is just... It's so good. The story is not in your face. You kind of have to read and look at things. But I love it. It's so good. And let's face it, the gameplay is top-notch. Dying is fun. I am not a masochist. This has been my TED Talk.
Okay, then, whatever you say, brother.
Sounds exactly like something a masochist would say.
I was playing it last night, and Tristan looks over, he's like, "You're playing Dark Souls?" And he was like, "I can't take that. Dying for hours on end." And I went, "I am not a masochist."
Yeah, and I don't believe. Agree to disagree.
You are wrong, sir.
I'm not a masochist. I don't believe you.
All right.
Moving on.
Moving forward to number 9.
Number 9, I have The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I was
really
just
number
playing
9
it.
for you.
Yeah.
That surprises me.
I only have it so low because I haven't played it a lot.
That's fair.
And I haven't invested myself too much in the universe yet. I've watched the Netflix series. I love that. What I've seen of Witcher and what I've played Witcher, I absolutely love. The storyline is amazing. The sheer number of side quests is fantastic. Let's see. Just the universe in general. It's a really, really interesting.
And you
take
did you finish
on,
the book?
I did.
The Last Wish. You haven't finished it yet.
No, I.
It's good.
Keep picking it up and then not reading it. So
you just pick it up and stare at the cover and then put it down.
I just pick it up and then I breathe on it.
Also, the skill tree is amazing in The Witcher 3.
I don't know how I felt about the skill tree in that, which that's not on my top 10 purely because I haven't finished it.
I just like how and we have talked about this before, and we're sure going to talk about this in the future as well. Probably. But I prefer skill trees where you have to pick a certain section instead of building everywhere up, and just being a god.
I like the skill trees that look really fancy.
Oh, well.
And the one in The Witcher's a little plain for me because it's just like a row.
Skill tree looks pretty. That's what I like.
Yeah. He likes Jedi Fallen Order's skill tree.
I do love that. Skill tree.
He likes the.
I think the look is.
He
really
thinks
cool.
it's pretty.
Even though,
as someone who hasn't played Jedi Fallen Order or really seen anything of it,
here I can send.
I've heard good things about it.
It's good. It's very good. It is actually. I'm gonna say this now. It is not on my top 10, believe it or not. Even though I love that game, it is not on my top 10. but I'll explain that when I talk about honorable mentions, because it's on there. But I will segue into my number 9 now. The Banner Saga. The first one. Because I have not finished 2 or 3 yet. I played through, I think, half of 2, and then I put it down, and then I bought it on the Switch, the whole trilogy, and have been waiting to restart it. But the first game is and I actually struggled to, I was picking between XCOM 2 and the Banner Saga for this slot, because they're both really good. But I went with Banner Saga because the story is so awesome in the Banner Saga. And the ending of the first game had me in tears. Because of my own choices, too. Because it was just so good. And the combat was very strategic compared to XCOM. And this is the thing that really made me pick, because XCOM's got a lot of, you've this much of a percent to hit. And that could be hilarious and fun. And I love XCOM for it. But Banner Saga feels a little bit more tactical because everything is like a guaranteed hit. Mm. So yeah. Not as long-winded, but,
I know you mentioned that like XCOM wasn't like as like tactical, but I am looking at the XCOM series for a while now, and I'm not sure. It's like it looks like a lot of fun. Like, I know there's a lot of customers.
Look, if you're gonna do it, just start with XCOM 2. You don't have to have played the previous one that I can't remember the full title of, which that one is good too, but XCOM 2 is better. And play it with the War of the Chosen expansion, and it is a masterclass of turn-based tactical squad strategy. Don't get me wrong. It is one of my favorites of all time. And I keep coming back to it years later. It's super good.
Yeah, no. I was thinking about getting the new one that came out, XCOM. I think it's like Enemy or something like that. Oh, I can check.
Enemy Unknown is the one that came out before XCOM 2.
Enemy Unknown, that's what it is.
That's the one that came out before XCOM 2. Yeah. Which that one is good. But I would just say get XCOM 2 if you can, because it's better. Even though it's technically like XCOM 7 or 6 or something, I think.
I think I have XCOM 3 on the PS3.
I think you have XCOM Declassified, right? The third-person shooter one that no one actually liked.
I don't think that's the one I have now.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Alrighty. Number 8. For me was Fallout 4.
That's not too surprising.
And so I might get some
flack for this.
Yeah. Because a lot of people would say Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas is their favorite.
Because those were like more closer to the original Fallout was.
Yeah. I technically hopped in at Fallout 3. But I don't know. For me, and this is my personal preference, so but Fallout 4, I don't know.
How dare you?
How dare you like something?
It's a lot of fun, and I know Bethesda has a few problems with their with certain mechanics.
Bugs.
With certain mechanics and everything, but I don't know.
Now, if you'd said Fallout 76, then I think I would have flamed you.
No. I haven't even touched that game. I don't necessarily want to. But so the storyline was really, really fun on Fallout 4. And I'm gonna say this, and you're gonna hear it multiple times throughout this video. The universe is so unique, and I know that's not just of Fallout 4. It's the whole Fallout series, but the Fallout universe is just so unique. There's something, it just works, and it's really, really fun to go around and see, just explore the universe and see the different parts of that. The different groups you can join, the
Iron Brothers, the Minutemen, and the other
ones.
I've never played Fallout 4, just to clarify, because I actually don't like Fallout. I'm gonna get flamed for that, but I don't like Fallout. I've tried multiple times. It's just, I don't know, it's a lot of fun, the different groups. And
And then this one, or also the open world, I kind of went into that already. But this one I'm probably going to get the most flack for. The building. I actually, I really, really love building in Fallout 4. And
Oh, that Minecraft.
so I don't know. I like, kind of the idea of like trying to create this sense of normality in this destroyed world, it's just really, really fun to experiment with that and see what you can do there. So,
That's your number 8.
It's my number 8.
I mean, I disagree.
Just so you know, I think you're wrong, and I'll.
I am the YouTube comment section.
I think you're wrong that your favorite is number 8.
Oh yeah, I think my number 8 is better because I have Metro Exodus as my number 8.
I haven't played it, so
it is. Okay, so I like the Metro the books.
Yeah,
I've read them.
Interesting that we both chose kind of
post-apocalyptic for number 8. Yeah. Both nuclear.
We're on the same page. Yeah,
pretty much. But Metro Exodus, I haven't played the other Metro games, but Metro Exodus has been the only game, like first-person shooter game, where I went, you know what? I want to turn off the crosshair. I want to feel this immersion so much because everything about it. Yeah, my immersion, dude. My immersion. But it is just so good. Like, the characters are fun, and I love being able to, while you're in the areas of calm, you can, like, stand around a character and they'll have a conversation with you, even though Artyom is a silent protagonist. But they just talk a conversation and give you story stuff, and I like that. And the combat's fun, intense, and full of, oh crap, I'm out of bullets, I'm going to die moments. And it's great. And I love every aspect of it. And I think
oh crap, oh jeez, oh god, bullets, ouch.
Yeah, pretty much. Bullets, use a med kit, oh gosh, I'm dying, my gas mask is broken, stuff like that.
My gas mask is broken, my gun's jammed, oh god.
That happened to me once, it was not fun. I think the only reason it's not higher on this list is I enjoyed the stories of these other games more than Metro Exodus's. Because I don't think any of the top 10 ones on my list I would say are bad by any course of the imagination. They're just aspects I like more about the other ones. Which brings us to number 7, and I'm going to jump ahead of you on this one.
Oh, okay.
Because I think this might be unexpected.
Wow, rude.
Yeah.
Take that, jerk.
We had a system here?
I am breaking the system with... I'm going to get flack for this one.
Oh,
Final Fantasy 15.
He said Fortnite.
No, Final Fantasy 15 is my number 7. And a lot of people are going to give me flack because that is a game that there were fans that were like, this is a terrible Final Fantasy game. And there were people like, this is a great Final Fantasy game. I am obviously in the this is a great Final Fantasy game. Because I have had a love-hate relationship with Final Fantasy for a long time.
Was that one the MMO, by the way?
No, 14 is the MMO.
Okay, gotcha.
No, I wouldn't put that on there as much as I think that is my favorite MMO that I've ever played. Final Fantasy 15 is just better in terms of like the combat in Final Fantasy 15 feels so good. Being able to teleport strike enemies while your friends are commentating on what you're doing, and they're like, dude, you're looking great today, you're doing fantastic today, and stuff like that. And Frodo, quit attacking the blinds!
Frodo, I swear to God!
Frodo is a cat, by the way. It's not actually Frodo.
Yeah, it's not a hobbit.
Frodo Baggins, whoa!
Frodo Baggins. But the combat's awesome, and being able to...
Was that just general Hobbit
What?
accent, or what was
Well,
that?
that was like you know when they're in the prancing pony, and Pippin's like, oh, Frodo Baggins, of course I know Baggins. He's right over there. He's my cousin. He's my second cousin, twice removed for his mother's sake. You know.
Okay.
I know that movie so well.
All right, back to video games.
Yeah.
So, the point, where is it?
The point, yeah. But I love the tight-knit group of the 4 people. And I think I was talking to you, I was playing the battle music in the car once. I think we were driving to a show night, to rehearsal or something. Mm-hmm. And I was like, dude, I can picture and hear the voices of the characters during this music. And I was like, that's awesome.
That's not even something I took into consideration, because the Witcher 3 soundtrack is freaking fantastic.
It is.
Oh my gosh.
Awesome. Yeah. I took soundtracks.
Borderlands 2 as well.
That's not for me. But I
don't know. There's something really fun about it. But yeah.
Like, also, the RPG system in the game is really cool. Yeah. To me, and I like the world. I think the world's very interesting. There are some problems with it. I know what people are saying with the linear hallways in certain sections, but it didn't bother me because I was like, for the story, I'm good with that. And Noxus as a character, the way they wrote him, I don't think is very good. But the group of the 4 guys is just so... That is a kind of thing I enjoy, and I really liked it. There's just a lot I liked about it. Also, just to throw some flack in there, I don't like Final Fantasy VII. Go, Tristan.
Oh, no!
But also...
I have not played a single Final Fantasy game, by the way.
Well, this is because I tried Final Fantasy VII as my first mainline Final Fantasy game, and I didn't like it. I played, I think 4 or 6 hours, and I was like, I don't enjoy this. And then Reese was like... I was asking him about Final Fantasy 15 because it came out on PC, and he was like, yeah, I enjoy it. And so I tried it, and that got me into Final Fantasy. So that's why it's on the list.
Speaking of 7, haha. Anyway, so my 7th...
Borderlands 7?
Yes, Borderlands 7. You know, the
Fallout game, 76?
No.
Vertically acclaimed.
Mad Max.
Oh, I forgot
Mad
about
Max.
that game.
I had so much fun playing that. I haven't picked it up in a while.
Did you beat it?
I did.
I think you did, right?
I did, yeah. That... I don't know how to explain. It's just a fun game. The open world is super fun. Being able to drive around and, have, freaking amazing car battles and crap. And just demolish these the Scrotus clan and everything.
Scrotus?
Yeah, it's not Scrotum, it's Scrotus. Okay, so just put that out there.
Scrotum, it's Scrotus.
So,
Light up your scrotum.
So the storyline is very fantastic. It's pretty fun upgrading. It is kind of one of those. After you played enough, you've fully upgraded, and
you feel powerful. You're like, I can take on the world.
Yeah, but it's fun to be able to
fight God.
It's fun.
I'm pretty sure Mad Max would say something like that too.
It's fun to be able to customize the vehicles and everything, and you can choose the different bodies for the different vehicles and everything. So that's a lot of fun. So the vehicle customization is super fun, but the storyline was just amazing. I really, really enjoyed it. Ending is super sad. No spoilers, but yeah.
Even though it's a 6-year-old game or something, I think. It
Yeah.
came out when the movie came out, right? The same year, next year? I don't know.
Possibly.
I haven't played it.
It would make sense, but yeah, it's Mad Max. Great game. If you haven't played it, please play it. It's really
please
fun.
Play it.
Please.
Play it, please.
It sounds like, Tristan, you make it sound like you were in the game. You're like, please.
Please play this game.
Yeah, I was one of the makers now. And I'm going to cut ahead again. Or
you're good.
Take my place back and go to my number 6, which is Batman Arkham Origins.
Ooh.
Are you going to have all of the Arkham games on there now?
I am not.
Oh, really? Is this the only Arkham game on your list?
On my top 10.
Wow.
And I really did.
Don't get me wrong.
I really did, but I wanted to add some variety in here.
Oh god,
as well.
Sorry. I was looking at the screen with the gameplay that people are watching if they're watching it, and I know what's about to happen because I recorded this.
Spoilers, man! Come on.
But I know what's about to happen, and I did it purely because I knew Badger. I did it purely because I knew it would happen. But still, I'm like, gosh, it looks like such a noob decision.
But yeah, Batman Arkham Origins. Very, very fun game.
Heck yeah.
The side quests are super fun.
The Mad Hatter one.
That is my favorite. I was about to mention that.
The
Mad Hatter side quest is just so wacky. It's so fun.
So good.
I love it so much.
You might get flack for this, by the way, because a lot of people don't like Origins. I like it. Screw you.
I like it. You all get suck my butt.
I loved it so much. The main storyline was so fun. The side quests just so much fun. The different things you can do. And I'm kind of, my mind's getting a little foggy. I don't remember if this is the one where you get to go into like Joker's little lair and like experience like the little fun house.
His little backstory was in this one.
Yeah,
the backstory part.
I think so. I think the fun house was in this one. That was a lot of fun exploring that. But for a Batman lover, dude, this was an amazing game. Yeah. I do like Asylum. I haven't played it that much. I loved.
I've only played part of City, and then
Arkham City is
Origins.
amazing.
Dude, Arkham City.
Arkham City was fantastic. I love that
Mark
one. It was really hard to try to choose between Arkham City and Arkham Origins, but I had to go with Arkham Origins just because the side quests are so much fun in this one. And I know Arkham Knight is the last one. Yeah, Arkham Knight
also got flack because of
Batmobile. But I mean,
and lots of performance issues when it came.
At least we got a Batmobile, so just chill. It was a lot of fun, and the storyline was fun. The side quests were fun on that one as well. I think one of my favorite things about that game is being able to hunt down the different villains and each of them having their own really, really fun storyline.
Origins or Knight?
I mean the whole Arkham series. And
I love the death taunts when you die.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They all say something.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Joker's
ding dong, the bat is dead, the bat is
dead, the double bat.
I can't remember. It's been a long time.
But yes,
it's a good one.
Yeah, very, very fun game.
Yeah. So my number 6, and then Blake, I'm gonna make you go first when we get to 5.
Yes.
I was actually gonna hop in 6, but
you're gonna hop in 6? Go for it. Go right now. Go.
So I'm actually gonna hop in here. Hi, it's me. I'm actually heading now. So my number 6 is gonna have to be Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Like the old one or the new one?
The old one.
Okay.
Yay!
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's new crap. No, get that out of here.
Yes,
the reason why I say
this
is because I have such fond memories growing up of just playing around and just screwing around as like a clone trooper or a battle droid or something like that. Obviously, the graphics and the quality of the game is a bit dated, but
I don't know what you're talking about.
I still find myself looking back fondly over playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 Classic because just new trash. Just trash. No. But yeah, yes, that's gonna be my number.
Yeah. Well, for me, even though it's not my top 10, the original Battlefront was the first PC game I played at my friend's house, and that was awesome.
See, I never played it on PC until recently.
Well, that's because you're PlayStation kid.
PlayStation 2, yeah.
I actually own Battlefront on disc.
Dude, I played Dark Forces on the original PlayStation. Star Wars Dark Forces.
Yeah.
That was, I think that's That's probably the first game I remember.
Wow.
Is Dark Forces. It's a fun game.
Never played it.
I was really too young to really understand how it worked, so I mainly just watched my brother play it. But but I mean, it's still, you have good memories. But yeah. Battlefront 2, it's a good choice.
I agree. That one I actually never played a lot of because it didn't work on my friend's computer for some reason. So we just played the first one, and that was good enough for me.
Yeah, the first one had some customization too, so that was
Did
fun.
it?
Yeah, you could like customize your armor and everything. Yeah.
No.
You could make it different colors.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yep.
Have I played Battlefront for years and never realized this?
Yes.
I think you've been doing it
Oh
wrong.
my god.
You've been playing Battlefront wrong.
Admittedly, I like Republic Command. I think I like Republic Commandos more than I like the Battlefront games, just because Republic Commandos. But my number 6 is Transistor, the lovely Supergiant second game they made. Beautiful, masterpiece. Those are 2 words I would use to describe it. It is what
describes it with 2 words. Those are 2 words I've used to describe it.
Wow.
Look, man, it is. I love Cyberpunk, and I wish it would be done more in games and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're getting Cyberpunk 2077 this year. Looking forward to that. But what?
No, continue.
What?
No, I can't. Continue.
But Transistor, its story of being a person who loses their voice, and the only character that talks is the sword, the Transistor. Oh my gosh, what is the actor's name? Because he does a voice in every single Supergiant game. Like he did the Stranger, the old man, the Stranger in Bastion, and then he does the Transistor in Transistor, and the Speaker in Pyre and stuff, and he is phenomenal. So good. And just, the combat is so interesting because it's real time meets pausing and planning out your actions. The final boss is super cool. One of my favorite final bosses in a game ever. I didn't really like the ending, which I think is why it's not higher on my list, but the soundtrack too. Oh, I could listen to that all day. It's so good. It is a beautiful masterpiece. 2 words to describe it.
It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Never played a game like it.
2 words
Never
I
will.
would use to describe it.
2 words.
Oh, man. Alright, Blake, would you like to start off the halfway mark of number 5?
So, number 5 on my list of 6, because I'm unprepared.
No one will know.
Number 5 is probably gonna have to.
Dude, I love
I can't think now.
Okay,
Put me on
cool.
the spot. My brain blanked.
Do you want us to cover for you?
Yeah, just come back to me.
Alright, number 5 for me is Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Oh! Like, dude, talk about, like, if you are on the fence about buying a Switch, Fire Emblem 3 Houses and Breath of the Wild, which Breath of the Wild is not actually on my top 10, believe it or not. As much as I love that game to death, it is one of the best games ever made. It is not on my list because I never got around to finishing it because it's the side quests.
Watch, his top is going to be like Pac-Man.
Heck yeah, dude. I love that. Really.
For my number 1 game, we're going to bring it back to a classic.
Centipede.
We're going to bring it back to Pong, baby.
Yeah.
No, but Fire Emblem 3 Houses is, like, if you want a reason to buy a Switch, that's your reason. If you weren't sold with Breath of the Wild, this is your reason. It is incredible, the amount of work. You can play through it 4 times to have 4 different experiences, and it is incredible because you pick one of 3 houses. One of the houses has 2 paths you can take, like, 3/4 through the game. Technically halfway through the game, depending. But to give a summary to people that don't know, because I don't think Tristan or Blake knows much about it. But you play as a teacher at this combat school, and you like guide your students through turn-based combat, and it can be really sad if you're not smart and you lose a student to battle and they die, because
we would hope you were smart. You are a teacher.
I lost one
rough.
student during a battle, but he didn't die right away, and it was during at the end of the game.
You know? Super fun.
No, at the end of the game, it tells you like what happened to everybody, like all of the students and stuff, and like he ended up dying from his wounds. Like I couldn't use him.
Slowly melted away.
I couldn't use him for the last half of the campaign in combat because he was injured from that battle.
Yeah.
And so at the end, it told me he died from his wounds, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's like so sad.
It's like, oh no.
Because all of the students, you can like, there's a relationship system, and you learn more about them through it and stuff. And it was just every student felt unique. And when I had to, a little bit of a spoiler, but when the part happened where
Spoiler alert!
where like the war kicked off, because each of the 3 houses at the school comes from a different kingdom in this land, and when the war kicked off, having to kill students from the other houses was the most painful thing of all time. It was so painful because I knew those students, even though they weren't my students. I knew them, and it was like, so yeah.
That was
Training has improved as you start stabbing them in the gut.
That
Pretty
was
much.
the day the Fire Emblem attacked.
That was the day the Fire Emblem attacked. Admittedly, I've loved Fire Emblem for a long time too, but this is the best in the series.
So my number 5.
Yes.
I had
Is this a
it.
flack choice?
I didn't. No, no. I really don't think it will be.
Okay. You sounded like you're being.
Just because I have mixed feelings about it now.
Okay.
But I kind of feel a dedication to it because when I first got into it, that was all I played.
I think I know what this is then.
Destiny 2.
Oh,
yes.
Not what I thought it would be actually.
Destiny 2.
Oh, that's the absolute turnaround.
It was. I thought you were gonna say Knights of the Old Republic or the online.
No, yeah. Well, that is a fun game. It's not on my top 10. And honestly, it's not on my honorable mentions either.
Destiny 2 is not on those for me either, which is surprising because I've had a good relationship with Destiny as a whole.
Destiny 2, I love the storyline. Fantastic storyline.
The world's awesome.
The world is amazing. And there's a lot of fun to be had in the PvP. Finn doesn't like it, but
I like Gambit. I am the Gambit
but,
king.
You know, that's something you can always come back to is a PvP. Gambit is really fun. But I don't know. I kind of stopped playing it after Shadowkeep
started.
And they changed a lot, and it's not that it's bad changes. And I may get back into it again later on, but I feel like, you know, taking away having to go through the storyline. If you want to start a new character, you don't have to go through the base storyline, and I kind of feel like that takes away from the point of the game. Like, why would you have a storyline if you're not going to have your players go through it? I don't know.
Well, the argument there could be that, like, if you've already played through the storyline before and you just want to make a new character,
well, he's
it's
talking
a bit more
about
convenient.
He's talking about with the new light, the free to play stuff, the free to play players.
Yeah.
You start at 750, which admittedly is not the power cap anymore. It's like 1,000 now.
Yeah.
But still, you technically don't have to do the story to get to the point where you could do everything else.
Yeah.
And you should do the story because you still get stuff.
Exactly.
There's not as much information.
But yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like of course, I haven't been playing a lot of video games recently. Excuse me. But yeah, I kind of got wore out on it after a while. but it's a good game. It really is, and I owe it at least being in my top 10 because I there's a lot of good memories with that, and I put a lot of time into that, and I really enjoyed it. So
yeah, I still played Destiny 2 a lot. New season came out last week, and like Destiny 1, I liked it even though it got bad reviews. I went and bought it the day it came out, and I remember my grandma was in town, and my great uncle and great aunt were in town, and I was playing it while they were in the kitchen, so they were right there, and that it was just fun. I have good memories, Destiny, even though I was alone and sad. But Blake,
he still is alone and sad.
But Blake, I think we've stalled for you long enough now.
Oh no.
He's been listening.
So my top 5 is going to be a little bit contradictory, considering how much attention I'm giving to it right now. Finn, I think you know where I'm.
I know where you're going.
I'm gonna go with World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
For my top 5. I will say in the beginning when I played it, it was really fun to explore like the gigantic world that is World of Warcraft. Like exploring the different classes, exploring different specializations within those classes, and just learning how to, do the best damage, tank the most, or do the best healing has been fun. But recently, it's been getting kind of stale, because like I guess it's a problem with like where the game is so big and there's so much to it that updates don't come out very consistently. Mm-hmm. And like when they do, it's a very big hit or miss on like whether or not you're going to enjoy the next expansion or whatever.
Right.
So, I will say like I don't hate the game by any imagination. I just think that
something needs to happen.
Yeah, something needs to change, and like there is a new expansion coming out, Shadowlands, in I think December.
Something like
and
that.
And my thing is like if Shadowlands doesn't like blow me out of the water, I'm probably gonna stop playing WoW.
Wow. No, that was not supposed to be a pun. I was legitimately just like, wow.
Take a step back and like explore other games, like XCOM, like I said earlier.
Yeah, XCOM is great. Once again, though, for you, for an MMO, I would recommend Final Fantasy XIV. I think it's great. I like combat more than that I do in WoW, because you got me into WoW.
Yeah.
Shadow Priest, best class. Don't at me. But definitely, I agree with you. From what I've seen, even though I haven't hit the level cap yet, I'm at 70, I think, now. I think I just hit 70.
Right.
And started doing the Burning Crusade stuff.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah, if you do end up looking for an MMO...
Well, like, there's definitely a lot... Like, there's no shortage of stuff to do now, but, like, after a while, it just starts to, like, get repetitive.
Right.
And now, a quick message from our sponsor.
Oh, no.
The best pickup line to use on a game.
Oh, gosh.
Are you an MMORPG? Because, wow.
Oh, my gosh.
Let's continue.
Okay, moving on.
Right, can we call... What's our contract with the sponsor? Can we change it?
Can we cut? Can we cut?
Alright, number 4. Mine is actually kind of funny because there's 4 in the title. Mine is Persona 4 Golden for the PS Vita.
Why did I totally forget about Persona 4?
I talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
Has the same...
all the time.
Admittedly has like it's got the same social system and time system, which is where Fire Emblem Three Houses got that system from, is from Persona. There's a whole, you have to manage your time throughout the day and what you want to do. And that's fun. Plus, the combat is cool. Finding all the different personas you can add to your arsenal of personas is awesome. The story, my word. The fact that you can end the game prematurely by mistaking who the main villain is awesome. And you can have a bad guy ending where you join the bad guy and bad things happen. It's so cool. And the characters are cool. And everything is cool.
And it's just cool. It's so cool.
It's just cool.
God, it's so cool.
One word that I would use to describe it is
cool.
Cool.
Cool and cool.
That is the only reason, to have a PS Vita, in my opinion, is to play Persona 4 Golden.
PS Vitas. Huh.
Yeah, that thing.
Are PSPs even around anymore?
I don't think so. I have
My
mine
dad has
still.
one.
I have mine still because I'm playing New Game Plus of Persona 4. Because it's awesome.
My dad has one. The only thing it was ever good for was Battlefront 2.
A PS Vita?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you could play it on PSP.
Yep.
You can?
Yep.
Oh, because of the screen thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not why I use
Same
my...
thing.
Yeah, you could, like...
That's not my
Screen
PSP.
share.
No, like it's just straight
Oh,
up.
it's
they
legit
have,
on
yeah,
PS Vita.
They
Oh,
have
that's
a
cool.
PS Vita Battlefront 2. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I think it might be slightly lesser than the original game. Like they might have less maps or something, but I don't know.
What?
I don't remember. I'm not sure.
I couldn't tell you.
But
All
I
I
thought I
played-
remembered it feeling different or something.
Like I said, like all I played on the PS Vita was Persona 4. That was pretty much the only reason I wanted one.
Yeah.
And it was worth it. I spent it was like 60 hours for my first campaign, and I intend on finishing a New Game Plus.
All right.
Who wants to go with their number 4 next?
Number 4.
I'll go.
Oh,
You
Mike
go.
can
Do it.
He's on
Do it,
point
bro.
now.
Number 4 for the other guy.
For the other guy.
So I am a person that's big on sentimental value.
Heck yeah.
So these next 2 picks for me are going to be based on like sentimental value as well as like solid gameplay.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Number 4 for me is probably going to be Batman Arkham City.
Yeah.
All right.
Because like obviously like we've talked about the Arkham series a bit earlier, but
Yeah.
just like the world itself is so good, like the difference between combat and stealth missions and just like sneaking around like the Batman.
Yeah.
The Batman.
And I used to play with a buddy of mine back in middle school,
Mhm.
and what we would do is like he would do like all the combat bosses and stuff, and I would just do like world exploration and stealth missions.
That's awesome.
So
And it was a blast. It was so much.
So here's my question. Did you finish the Riddler
Oh
campaign?
gosh.
I never actually did get the opportunity to do the side quests and side missions and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So, okay.
Yeah. See, the Riddler. I mean, I would pick
worst
up the
side quest in
things.
the entire world.
I would pick up the things as I went, but there's so much grinding with that, and it's so ridiculous. But it makes sense for the Riddler, and I don't know.
it does.
It is fun, and the actual storyline once you get past the finding all the crap is fun. And finding out figuring out the different puzzles and everything is really fun. Side note, totally forgot to mention this about the Arkham series. The detection, like the detective work,
stuff.
that is so fun.
That's great. I love that.
And I think it, once again, unpopular opinion, but I think it peaked in Arkham Knight. There's just a lot of great detective work in that. You can rewind scenarios and
They
everything.
did
It's
that in
super fun.
Origins too.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I was
that the thing in
thinking.
Origins.
Yeah. Okay, then okay.
That was one of my favorite aspects of Origins.
Yeah. The detective work is super fun. I mean, he is the world's greatest detective, so it should have that. So it does.
Batman.
He is the Batman.
I think it's a very, very rounded series where they balance the combat, the stealth, the puzzles, the different characters, and the detective work. There's just a lot of roundedness to it.
Sorry, the cat is attacking the blinds again. Frodo, you are not supposed to do that.
We're trying to do a show here.
Yeah. Wait, here, you start talking to us. I'm gonna go get the cat.
Okay.
Hey, come here. Get out of here.
Wait, are we waiting on Finn to do his number 4?
Talk.
No, Finn already did his number 4, right?
Yeah, I already did.
Oh, okay.
You're the last one.
Okay,
Don't
so
want me. I'm just paying attention.
this one might surprise you. My number 4.
I was expecting unexpected.
Lord of the Rings: Battle for Middle Earth.
Really? Battle for Middle Earth? Keep talking.
The single best RTS in the world. It is so fun.
Now you're gonna catch flack for saying that.
yeah, I know I am. But you can't find that.
Off Turbo Nerd.
you can. Like, you can't find that game anywhere anymore, and it's so sad. And I'm hoping, like, Steam gets some sort of a deal so that we can, start playing the game again. But it was such a fun game. And for interesting that you said for nostalgic reasons, because that has a lot of sentimental value to me as well.
Yeah.
A lot of nostalgia in that, because my family, we used to play it all the time. We're big Lord of the Rings nerds, so being able to have this RTS and like control these different armies, that was so fun. It is the best RTS, just saying. The story modes are really fun. You can like follow different story modes, the different races or whatever. That's a lot of fun as well.
That's racist.
A really, really, really fun part of that. It's honestly a small thing, but it's super fun. You could create your own hero.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah. And
especially in an RTS, you don't really see that.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. Being able to create your own hero, and you can do all kinds of things. Like, you could have like a cave troll, you could have a wizard, you could have just all kinds of different classes and all kinds of stuff. And it was super fun to be able to create your own hero and be able to play them. But oh my gosh, I think it mainly is for the sentimental value, the nostalgia. It was such a fun game, being able to play it with my family, and just saying, I kind of rocked at it. So
you're gonna call up your dad and be like, "Hey, can you send me Tristan's win-loss statistics, please?"
I beat my dad quite a few times.
Oh, I don't have it.
So,
but just
all right, yeah. So that's my number 4. Star Wars Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle Earth.
Yeah, Star Wars.
See, when you said that first, I was thinking of the other one,
Conquest?
Battle of the North.
War in the North.
War in the North.
That is a really fun one.
Conquest is the one I played.
Conquest is
with my cousin, and that was fun.
And that actually was on my
honorable mentions.
It was on my honorable mentions. I had to take it off because I thought of some other things. But
yeah,
that also has a lot of nostalgia. I used to play that with my little brother all the time, so that was a lot of fun. So.
Speaking of Lord of the Rings games, Aragorn's Quest is a fun one. I think that one got a lot of flack because it was a Wii one, and you had to like swing your sword, but it was fun. You got to play as Aragorn, and you could play it multiplayer, and your friend played as Gandalf and had spells and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
You got to play as Homeboy.
Aragorn is the best character in Lord of the Rings, in my opinion. Number 3.
Wait.
What?
I can hear the lighting of torches. Oh God.
Here they come! Gondor calls for aid! Number 3. I think this will be no surprise to you. Is Pyre.
Yep.
Another Supergiant game. Because, oh my gosh, Pyre is awesome. It has one of the most innovative like gameplay things I've seen in a while. It's like soccer in a sense, but the way it's done is so much fun. It has a local multiplayer mode, so you can play that game mode with your friends, which is cool. The amount of customization for the different characters is great. Hedwyn is one of my favorite characters of all time, even though his backstory revolves around a like forbidden love story kind of thing with enemy chick, but which is surprising because, as I think both of you know, that is not the kind of thing I enjoy in a game or anything.
That's the only thing Finn enjoys in a game.
And to give a clarification how it works, you're in this essentially like purgatory prison place, and you have to complete these rites, and you get to the final rite, and if you win, you pick one of your companions to be set free. And the problem with that is you are losing a character who you won't learn more about, but if you like them a lot, you still want them to be free. And the other thing is, there were a couple of times, because of the person the character on the enemy team, I kind of wanted to lose to let that person go free instead. And I've never wanted to lose in a game before. And that was like, wow. Also,
it wasn't like WoW. WoW's an MMORPG.
This is.
I mean, it's always very powerful when a game actually makes you want to lose.
Yeah, that's how awesome Pyre is, and a lot of it's more of a visual novel kind of game, and I think a lot of people didn't like that because, that's not gameplay. Well, it's story, and I'm a sucker for a good story.
I want to flex my big brain.
Yeah, so that for me. Plus, there's a new game plus in that. That's pretty awesome. Haven't actually gotten around to playing it yet, but definitely intend to. So number 3, who's next?
I'll go. Number 3, Skyrim.
Only number 3 for you. That's surprising. Because you love that game so much.
Really, really love Skyrim. That is probably the game that I've spent the absolute most amount of time playing. And I started out playing on the PS3, and then I moved to the PC and discovered that you can do all kinds of console commands, and that's a lot of fun. So
Cheater.
making the Dragonborn run like 5,000 miles an hour. I'm not touching my so once again, I told you it would come up again. The universe is so interesting. I love the Elder Scrolls universe.
You really get a feel for the type of players we are based on our suggestions.
Yeah, but I mean that's pretty.
And I started out actually on Oblivion, and I have a lot to say about that game, but I'll say that for another time. Skyrim.
For my number 2 slot.
For Skyrim, there's just so much you can do. The DLCs are super fun. Once again, the various groups that you can join, it's kind of, Bethesda's strong suit is the different side quests and everything.
You can be a werewolf.
Yeah, you can freaking be a werewolf. And in the DLC, you can be a freaking vampire lord.
Dawnguard.
Yeah, Dawnguard DLC.
Get that vampire wine, dude.
Of course, Hearthfire.
I know
Hearthfire,
the one where you can build a house.
Yeah, you can build a house. He doesn't like being able to.
So clearly,
build
Fortnite is Tristan's top one for building.
No. So,
number 1.
Yeah,
but exploring the world. I mean, literally, I could just walk around the world all day and just have fun. I mean, I don't know if you've heard, but there's like this 80-year-old grandma who just literally her favorite game is Skyrim. And she spends hours literally just walking around Skyrim, just looking at the flowers and stuff.
That's fun.
That's crazy. I love that.
Yeah. I mean, and it's, of course, there's more to it than just that, but the world is just, it's fun. It's fun being able to see the intricacy in the world. And the storyline is so fun. I did finish the storyline, yes. A lot of people haven't because they're so stuck on the side quest, but the side quests are fun as well. But yeah, Skyrim is a really great game. Once again, the combat may not be the best, and
you're saying that because I'm here.
No, I mean just in general, it really isn't. I mean, Bethesda is. They make good games, but the combat is a little But
you don't wait. You're picking Skyrim PC edition over Alexa edition.
What? How dare you?
I eat all the cheese.
All the cheese. The very special edition. Yeah. No.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, it's a great game. It has its bugs, and you can easily become a god, and all you really need is sneak. But
Sneak 1000.
It's a fun game, and I've devoted so much time to that game. I love, once again, the universe. The idea of the Dragonborn is just so fun. There's just a lot that goes into it, and it's just a really, really fun game.
Yeah. All right.
Alright.
Balake.
So, like I said, my next one's gonna be a bit more sentiment value based. My number 3 is Minecraft.
Hey! I don't think anyone will argue with anyone playing Minecraft on their.
Well, like
top
if you've played Minecraft, you kind of know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
like,
heck yeah.
it's an open world game where you can literally do whatever the hell you
Exactly.
Except make a circle.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah, circles are forbidden. You can't do that. That literally like implodes the game.
Minecraft cursed images.
It actually makes your PC explode. But obviously, like it's a game that you can take like hours,
Heck
like
yeah.
doing nothing, and still say you had a great time playing.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a game where like if you want to like do like really massive builds and flex your big brain and like creative skills, then obviously you can do that. But it's also a game where you can just turn your brain off. You know what I
Heck
mean?
yeah.
And after
Yeah,
a long
definitely.
day, you just boot up Minecraft and just
Just
chill.
put down some cobblestone. Be like, I built something.
I did a thing.
Put down some
Uh,
fence. Booyah.
And like I'm not like well, I am creative. I'm not patient, but I definitely have taken the time to like build some small like detailed houses and stuff like that, and like it was very satisfying to do. So
Yeah.
Mhm. I agree.
I love seeing how detailed you can get in creative, or not in creative, but in survival. You know, like see how detailed you can make your house. You know, kind of
And
challenge
you're
yourself.
like, I grabbed all of that material.
Yeah, yeah.
I did that, or you go into creative mode and just do it anyway.
Yeah, and that is one of the few games where gathering materials doesn't feel like a grind for me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but
Something
I mean,
about it.
in literally like every other game that I've ever played that I can think of, gathering materials feels like a grind.
Sure.
And I usually,
Avoid it.
I mean, I'm a looter. I always loot. When
Oh,
there's
I
something
know.
to loot, I loot. It drives Finn crazy.
It's
when
like,
we're trying to
dude,
get
come
through
on,
a
we gotta
storyline.
go. And he's like, hold on, I gotta
There-
sort my inventory for the 50th time.
And I'm like,
Wait.
hold on a second. Is that a barrel I see?
What were we playing? And there was
Potential
like
items.
a patch of grass. Was it Swords of Ditto?
It could have been Swords of Ditto.
We were playing
Or-
that, and you were like, dude, there's a patch of grass over here. I'm like, there's not gonna be any. And you're like, dude,
And there was something in it. There was something
like
in it.
one time there was something in it, and I was like,
It's for that one time that I do it. Okay. But yeah, Minecraft
heck yeah.
is a great
Minecraft
game.
is a
nobody
bomb.
can.
It's not on my
Nobody can
top
fight
10
that, you
or
know?
my honorable, but that's just because of the kinds of games that stick with
Yeah.
me.
I'm
a story person.
He is a very story driven person.
Which is why number 2 is number 2 on my list. Octopath Traveler. Heck yes. Another, well, I was about to say another great reason to get a Switch, but then they released it to PC after I bought it on Switch, which is fine. But, oh my word! Talk about an incredible game from the amazing pixel art. Swallowed some spit there as I was about to talk. From the awesome characters, the 8 main characters that you get to pick your party of 4. You start with one. I started with Cyrus Albright, the Scholar, because Scholars are awesome. And then
He will always pick the scholar or the wizard.
I really do.
It's
There's
that's
nothing
just
wrong
him.
with that. It's awesome. But like being able to pick your party of 4 and then having travel banter for things that happen when you do one character's story bit, you can do their stories in any order you want. The combat system is really cool with breaking people's defenses and the weaknesses and stuff is super cool. The multi-class system is fun, and because people don't know, when I play an RPG, I set my own rules. I have to do things based on what I think the characters would do. So, with that, to give an example, and this is one of the reasons Octopath is on my list, is I started with Cyrus, and I went, okay, I think that Cyrus would probably know the cleric, Ophelia, even though technically in the game world they don't. Wow, jeez. So I did that. It was so good. I did that, and then there was a character in Ophelia's opening chapter that was like, yeah, I come from the ocean. I was like, okay, I'm going to go and get the merchant as a character. And then...
The screen just said, it's a trap!
Anyway,
and then
didn't know.
and then I went and got her. And then I was like, well, she needs to go this direction, and the night is on the way. So I went and picked up Ulbrich, and then I had my party. And then I made like, okay, Ophelia is going to become an apothecary as her second class, because I think that makes sense for her. Ulbrich became a hunter, because he hunts for food for the party while we're traveling. Tressa, the merchant, became a scholar because she likes to learn from Cyrus.
Yeah, I don't really trust her.
I
just said that was a terrible pun. That was so bad.
So bad. Okay, good. Sorry, continue.
And then each character's story feels really good and fun, and it's just, oh, yeah, here I am making fun of myself for doing the altar. But yeah, that is why that's number 2. I almost put it at number 1. It was very close.
Right.
But number 1, I think, is a phenomenal game as well.
Alright. I'm going to sneak in for number 2 here.
Sneaky.
Do it, boy.
Sneak 1000.
Boy.
I'm gonna sneak one in and say that like this game was like my childhood as far as middle school goes. And like some high school. Team Fortress 2.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I hate you for it, because I don't like that game. Because I have bad memories with it, but...
This is my list, Finn.
I know.
I didn't ask for your opinion.
Shut the heck up.
So yeah. Team Fortress 2 is easily the game I have sunk the most time. Like, easily.
Yeah, do you want me to look up your hours right now? I can do it.
No, I can tell you right now. It's like 2,600 hours. Like,
it's a lot.
And I'm sure some people in the crowd are like, oh, 26? That's nervous.
Noob.
But, like, Team Fortress 2 was a game that was there for me all of high school and, like, all of, like, the ups and downs of that. And, like, I've never been, like, amazing at FPS. I'm just bad. So, but I was decently good at it. And, I don't know, like, I liked the 9-class system.
Mm-hmm.
And, how, like, each class is very unique and very different from one another. And, like, maining one class wasn't like, oh, you're good only in this situation.
Sure.
The way that TF2 constructed setup with, like, you're good at one class, you're pretty much good in any situation as long as you play it right.
Uh-huh.
So it really encouraged individual skill as well as understanding team compositions and what you could do as a specific class. And that was really fun for me to just kind of like figure out, like, how can I play soldier the best, or where can I place my buildings best as an engineer?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't touch spy because the spies are gross. But
spies are awesome. Okay.
Spy is disgusting, and you are filth for playing it.
Hey, I don't. That was the class I played the most of in TF2 during my time.
Oh, I played engineer, so you're.
Well, you're filthy.
You're disgusting. Anyway. Yeah. That's definitely gonna be different on my list, because like both the sentimental value and also just like quality of gameplay that is still going on today.
Sure. Yeah. No, I can agree with that.
My number 2 is Minecraft.
Oh wow.
Hey!
Yeah. So I thought it was funny you mentioned it. Minecraft. Once again, endless possibility. You know, like you can do whatever the crap you want. Also, that has a lot of nostalgia for me, especially for one of my old friends. I used to go over to his house all the time, and we would play it all the time, and it was just so fun. Like, literally, whenever I hear the main theme, I forget the name. Yeah, but whenever I hear that, like, it throws me back, dude. I don't know. It's super nostalgic. There's just endless possibility on it. I never was like a redstone master or anything. But once again, you know, I loved trying to see how advanced I could make my house or society in survival. Of course, creative mode was always fun. Actually, in survival with my buddy, we made like a full-size castle. It was really cool. And yeah, that was probably the biggest achievement I've ever done in Minecraft, because it was like, this was survival, and we gathered all this cobblestone. Like, that's awesome. But it was so much fun. And then once we built it, we were like, because we had cobblestone, we were like, you know what? I think this would look better in stone. So we literally went through the whole thing.
Oh my god!
And we went section by section, tearing it down, putting it in the smelter, the
furnace.
The furnace, and turning it to stone, and then putting it back.
Oh my
and we were
gosh.
like, all right, yeah, I could get in. I could totally get on board with this. Like,
wow.
I don't know. It was a lot of fun. It was sad when we decided to cross the different continents, and we lost our main house and never found it again. But there's just so much about Minecraft that's so fun. The different like whatever we just were playing the other day, like the little MMORPG on Minecraft and stuff.
Oh, the Windcraft, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much that you can
do with it.
There's so much that you can do with Minecraft, and it's almost like a whole genre of video games instead of just a single video game.
Well, Minecraft launched the sandbox genre.
Yeah.
Whereas Arkham has its genre, Dark Souls, and then Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's just it's a great game.
All right, and I think we're running a little low on time. Check it. Yeah, we got like 20 minutes left. So we'll go quickly through honorable mentions, just like nothing long.
Speedrun!
What?
Speedrun.
Yeah, speedrun. Okay, honorable mentions. I'll go first. First one is Jedi Fallen Order. Best Star Wars game, I think, for me.
You're going
personally.
10 and then up, right?
No, I'm just going honorable mentions in
Okay.
general. I don't have a specific order for these.
Okay.
I just have a couple problems. I've had some problems with some gameplay elements where it felt like I was just getting stun locked and couldn't do anything. And that was kind of the main reason it's not on my list. The second honorable mention I've got is Ken Follett's The Pillars of the Earth, a point-and-click game that is phenomenal. And because I've read the book, The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett, which is a fictional history, which I don't normally like, and it's super good, and the game was great. And then next is Valiant Hearts, which had me in tears. That game is so flippin' sad, dude.
Is that the one with the Viking funeral stuff?
No, that's Banner Saga.
Oh, okay.
Banner Saga is the one that had me crying. But this is the World War One one,
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm not spoiling the ending because that would ruin it. It had me in tears every time I hear the music for it. I can feel like the tears welling up because it's so good. The next one is the original Castlevania. It holds a special place in my heart. Screw you that if you're like Symphony of the Night's better. I actually disagree. I like the first one.
You're not allowed to have an opinion? Ben says so.
No, because I know I'm going to get flamed for it. They're going to be like, how dare you pick the original Castlevania over like Castlevania 4. Look, Castlevania 4 is good too. But the original has a place in my heart. Then I have Divinity, Original Sin 2. Because... because...
A lot of them.
Yeah, I made 10 honorable mentions to go with top 10. That's why I'm running through them quick. Divinity Original Sin 2, though, is awesome. They're making Baldur's Gate 3. It's going to be D&D the video game through and through. It's going to be phenomenal. Tristan, I think this is probably also on your honorable mentions, so we can double team this one if you want. A Way Out.
Oh my gosh, it's...
No
spoilers.
No spoilers. But what movie did we see that day? Because I was with you guys.
I really don't
saw
remember.
A movie, right? Was it Ready Player One?
I think it was.
Ready Player
I think it was
One.
Ready Player One.
That came out. I went with you guys to that.
Yeah.
And then you came over to my house. It was like midnight. We get home at midnight.
And we're like,
I installed
hey.
the game
Yeah,
because it just came out that day. And we played it 6 hours straight from beginning to end.
As soon as it was released, we were like, all right, let's freaking do this.
So
and we were like, all right, we'll just play a little bit and we'll record the rest tomorrow,
Yeah.
We couldn't stop. The cooperation of that game is so fun. The way they set that game up is
so
genius.
good. I want more games like that.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's so good. The ending is great.
And then it's so good.
It was so good. That made me cry too.
It's the saddest ending to a video game.
Valiant Hearts is sadder. But yeah.
It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay that your opinion's wrong. But
that one has good sentimental memory, and it was a fun game.
And there's a lot of fun mini games inside of it. So it's always fun to challenge each other. Yeah. But
the pull-ups too.
The wheelchairs.
The wheelchairs.
Bouncing. Okay. Anyway, so
XCOM 2
yeah.
is on my honorable mentions. I talked about that earlier, so I won't spend time on it. Shadowrun Returns is on my list, which is based off of the Shadowrun tabletop RPG system, which is great. I think it's got good character customization stuff. This next one, a lot of people didn't like this game. Vampire with a Y. I love that game. I think the story and the characters are cool. I like the setup. I like London. I think it's cool. And finally, on honorable mentions, I have Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden, which is a kind of XCOM style stealth RPG post-apocalyptic. It's cool. That's all you need to know. It's cool.
Right. Cool.
I'm
gonna blaze through my honorable mentions right quick.
Go for it.
Borderlands 2. Definitely a fun one. Talked about it earlier. Castle Crashers was another big one for me.
Yes,
Oh,
Castle
yeah.
Crashers.
Castle Crashers is great. I love their soundtrack so much.
Oh, yeah.
It's so
I
good.
played through that
So
with my brother. I should have put that on my honorable mentions.
And I think my last one is probably gonna have to be. Actually, yeah, no, that's it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Pretty short.
I do also have 10 honorable mentions, but I'll fly through them real quick. My 10th is A Way Out. I ordered mine, by the way, because I did all this last night. And
you did.
So, A Way Out is number 10. Number 9, Shadow of Mordor. Fantastic game. There's a lot to be said about that. Not going to say all of it because we're flying through. Dishonored. The stealth is amazing.
Yeah, I almost put that on my list.
There's so much with that. The upgrades are super fun.
Super good.
The universe. Once again, the universe. Number 7, Gauntlet Dark Legacy. An old PS2 game. That was one of the first games that I really played with my older brother. We spent so much time in that. Very nostalgic for me. Number 6, Batman Arkham City. We already went over that. Super fantastic series. Number 5, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And I know that may not be everybody's favorite Assassin's Creed game. I haven't played a lot of the Assassin's Creed games. I'm hoping to start doing that. But I played that and Rogue. And honestly, I probably spent a lot more time in Rogue. And not many people cared for Rogue and played it too much. But I really loved it. But Assassin's Creed Odyssey, there's just a lot you can do. I love the graphics and the massively expensive map. So number 4, Spider-Man PS4. That is super fun. Very nostalgic for me because on the PS2 I used to play Spider-Man 2 all the time. And to be able to see a Spider-Man game where it's very similar in the style, but a lot better graphics, it's really cool. Very nostalgic. Gonna get flack, especially from Blake. Number 3, Battlefront 2, the new one.
How dare you?
Listen. I know it's got its problems. You have to admit they've been working on it. They've been fixing it. I love the customization. The maps are very fun. The heroes, the different heroes are super fun. I think they have a lot to add, and they have, they could change some things and balance some things a lot better. And then the game modes. I really like the different game modes. I don't know why Ewok Hunt isn't a bigger hit. I very much love Ewok Hunt.
Was cool.
it's super fun to crap your pants while you're playing a game. So honestly, kind of scary.
Oh no,
that's just
shut up. I do that every time.
Number 2, the original Black Ops.
That's fair.
Spent a lot of time in that game. Whenever I had my buddies over, we would play that. So
we play
the zombies too. Super fun. Gotta love zombies. Nuketown is the only map. Nuketown is the only map. So
Nuketown is the only map.
Just a lot of great memories. And actually, the main storyline is really fun on Black Ops. My number 1 is Oblivion. For honorable mentions, yes, is Oblivion. Very, very great game. The combat is a little wonky, but it's all worth it for the DLCs. Honestly, it's really fun, and once again, the universe is really fun. So now let's get on to our number 1 favorites. Who wants to go first?
You go first. I'll go last.
I go first? Okay. It's already been mentioned. The original Battlefront 2.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I had to think a lot about this one. And I know I've said that I spent a lot of time in a lot of games, and I probably have spent the most time in Skyrim, but Battlefront 2 comes very close. My brother and I, and my sister, and my little brother, I mean, all of us
and
kids.
Your dad, probably.
Yeah, my dad a little bit. Not as much, actually, but he was more of a PC gamer, and we played it on the PS2. But Battlefront 2, the original, there's so much with that game. The story mode, very fun.
Oh my gosh,
the fall
yes.
of the Order 66 and everything, so much fun. Bring a man to tears. So,
make a girl man.
The narration was amazing.
Okay.
The graphics, I honestly don't mind.
No.
They may be a little outdated, but it doesn't matter. You see past that because the game is just so good. The different hunt modes where you can be like the Ewoks or the you
can be Jawas.
You can be Jawas.
Sand
you can be
people.
sand people. You can be the freaking
The Wampa.
The Wampas. I mean, there's so much. You could be the what is. Can't think. What is Jar Jar Binks?
Gungan.
Gungan. You can be Gungans. I mean, there's so much with that. It's
the
so
Conquest
fun.
mode too.
Yes, that is probably the
Galactic
best. The Galactic Conquest was the absolute best. That's what I spent the most time playing with my older brother.
Literally one of the best board games of all time.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much what it was.
We would have conquests that lasted for months. It was so fun, and you never got bored of it. I mean, there's so much there. It's so fun. And of course, you can play it single player as well. You can play Galactic Conquest single player. Not as fun, definitely. But oh my gosh, there's so much there. The heroes and villains, the choices they had for those are super fun. I loved playing heroes versus villains. That was really fun. Just so much to that game. Very, very nostalgic for me. A lot of time dedicated to that game. So thank you, Battlefront 2, the original.
Before EA came in. All right. Balake.
Okay, so for my first game, like obviously I'm a little unprepared, but I did have to think about this one a little bit. And I have to say, my number 1 game as of right now is a game that I've actually been playing very recently. My number 1 is gonna have to be Deep Rock Galactic.
I knew it.
Yeah. I mean, it's such an interesting concept. Like it's the idea of Minecraft taken to a bit of a different level.
With a horde mode.
Yeah, with guns and like class and actual like invasive mobs and stuff like that, and like having different objectives and worlds, and situations and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's relatively simple in concept, but there's a lot of customization. There's a lot of there's a lot to do with what little there is to do. If that makes sense.
It's also been improving a lot too, because you got him recently. I've been playing for 2 years, I think. Deep Rock. I don't remember when I started playing. but it's improved a lot.
Yeah,
it is a good game.
Yeah, just for the sake of time, that's all I'm gonna say about it. But yeah,
okay.
Deep Rock Galactic, best game.
Best game. And it's got multiplayer. It's cool.
Yeah, play with your friends.
Play with your friends. If you have them. Unless you're Tristan. Alright. So, my number one game of all time is none other than Darkest Dungeon.
Which you've been watching this whole
if
time.
You've been watching this, and if you haven't just been listening and you've been watching, that is the gameplay I recorded beforehand. Darkest Dungeon. Where do I begin with this beast of a masterpiece?
Well, I would hope you begin somewhere.
I know.
At the beginning.
Let's just start with how it looks. It looks so cool. It's got this gothic, almost like comic book art style to it. Each of the classes plays a specific way that you have to kind of learn and figure out how to put it into a team comp and what kind of team comp you want depending on what location you're going to. Are you doing a boss fight? What am I going to fight here? Am I going to run into the headhunter and get a party wipe and be like, crap? And the game is brutally punishing, but I never went, screw this. This is dumb. I went, darn, let's go again. The stress system is quite literally one of the most stressful things in a video game.
Aptly named, I say.
Aptly named, because unlike health, stress does not go back down to... Instead, health heals after every expedition. Your stress stays at whatever level it was during the expedition, and you have to pay gold at the tavern or the church to heal that. So it is a permanent damage that you're going to have to find a way to get rid of. And if it gets too much, your characters will either have a mental breakdown or they'll just plow through their stress and get buffed for a little bit. And if it gets to 200, your character just dies of a heart attack.
Nice.
Which is, that can happen. It's only ever happened to me once, and it was in this gameplay I record for the podcast. But oh my gosh, the narrator is the greatest narrator.
I'm sorry, have you heard of Morgan Freeman?
No. Morgan Freeman does not compare to this narrator.
Whoa, we're gonna get demonetized for this.
You have to die now.
Morgan Freeman cannot compare to the I think it's your character's dad in this. It does not compare. It is so good. The way he talks about what you do. Like
the way he talks about what you do, it's just like narrative,
That's almost like narration.
No, but like the writing for what he says and the actor who did it, I don't know his name.
Not Morgan Freeman.
It's not Morgan Freeman. Not as good. But everything he says just sounds so on point, and like it's talking to you, the player. Like when it says things like packs often laden with loot, often low on supplies, and it's like, yeah, you're right. I don't have enough supplies, and stuff like that. The story is simple but deep. You're going to the old hamlet of your father to cure it of this darkness. The combat is so cool. The customization for all the characters is cool. The fact that characters will get good and bad traits tells you a story. Like, there's a trait called the Perfectionist, and one of the characters in the gameplay you're watching, if you're watching this, had it, one of the shield breakers. She had Perfectionist. Every time she misses, she gains stress. And that, as a player, you're like, I kind of don't want to take her. But you're also like, you can create a story for that character in your head. Like, they're perfectionists, and so you can picture this kind of thing. And it's just, it's amazing. Everything about it. I've never had a bad time with this game. there have been times where I went, freak, everybody's dead. And then I went, okay, who wants to die next? Let's go. So...
You know, Finn, I'm really surprised that your favorite wasn't Sea of Thieves.
Oh my gosh, do not start. Do not start.
I almost had that on my honorable mentions. But then I was like...
Then you're like, Finn just
wait,
gonna
a way out.
right here.
No, I removed it for a way out. I was like, a way out. But
also, really quick, cool mechanic is the death blow mechanic. When a character hits 0 HP, they have a chance to just avoid being killed with the next strike. Otherwise, it's a death blow and they die, which is
so
nice.
You mean cheating?
It's like they get hit and they have a death's door, which means they didn't die. But it's a nice balance since you are going to take a lot of damage, and sometimes you just can't take a healer with you, which is not fun. But it's just so cool. So yeah, top 10 games, and we actually did it on time.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Kind of.
No, we're on time. The gameplay's still rolling. We're good.
That's partly because somebody wasn't prepared with his 10 games.
I wonder who that was.
I wonder.
That's crazy.
That's nuts, dude.
Just think, if I had a full list, you would have been late.
Blake was actually secretly 2 steps ahead.
I'm thinking ahead. I'm thinking 2 steps ahead.
He's like, they'll never expect this.
Never see this one coming.
But yeah, so this has been the Distracted Podcast. Distracted Boys. Distracted.
Yeah.
We're distracted.
What?
You can find
Yes.
me here on the channel as well as everybody else.
You can find
crazy.
all of us here.
You can find us here on the channel for the podcast. You can join me in listening to the commentary of this gameplay you've been watching to understand what was going through my head, so you don't flame me in the comments and go, "Why did you make that decision?"
People are gonna flame you anyway.
They will flame me anyway. They'll be like, "Your reasoning is stupid." You can also find me on Twitch. I will be streaming the gameplay recordings for the podcast from now on. I planned on doing that because I thought that would be kind of fun to do. If anyone's fun in that. I don't know if Tristan, Blake, maybe, potentially at some point, we'll do that. Wow. Have fun.
Maybe, possibly.
But you can find me at those places. Tristan, can they find you any place to enjoy more of Tristan Horton?
I haven't really posted. I've considered it.
I mean, heck, we have a YouTube channel.
I do have a YouTube channel. That would be Wolfman1210. If you wanna, that's Wolfman_1210.
Also just post on here too. We can have a Tristan section.
Yeah,
that no one touches.
The
gameplay is almost over, but we can keep talking. We're fine.
So, maybe we'll.
You can find him there. You can find him here.
Yeah,
every which way.
You can find us, just everywhere. Just maybe we'll see about recording some videos in the future. So
we probably will.
Cool.
Fun stuff. Blake, can we find you here on the channel?
Probably. I would think.
Either here or in Azeroth.
I mean, I haven't. I don't really have any sort of media platforms, so you can't really find me on YouTube or something like that. But I am on Steam. I am on Battle.net, so same name, honestly. Spooky Puppers is where you can find me for pretty much anything.
The Spooky Puppers.
Reach out
oh no! Now they can see my hotbar. Hide. Okay. Well, we thank you for listening or watching, whichever you do, and we shall see you next time.
Bye.